Hello, my name is Will Gamache, and we're going to talk about some common terms that you see in jazz that folks might not be familiar with unless you're already pretty familiar with music or familiar with jazz. I'm going to demonstrate some stuff on trombone so that it's going to attach a little bit more to content that you might be learning in jazz history. So, what you're listening to right now is what we call a blues progression. We've got a rhythm section playing a series of chords that follow a 12-bar blues in B-flat progression. That's probably a lot of words. It just means there's a certain series of chords that repeat over the course of 12 measures. We're almost back at the top, and I'm going to solo for a little bit. So that was a solo, improvised solo. That means I just made it up using some of the rules in jazz in terms of like what notes are going to sound good within a chord. We're not going to get too deep into that, but I'm not just making it up totally willy-nilly. There are rules to follow, and you have to play notes that sound good with the chords that are being played. Your material has talked a lot about like the blues scale, and the blues scale, stop that for a minute. The blues scale is simply a series of notes that when put together, going from bottom to top, form what we call a scale. A scale is simply, if you're staring at a piano or any instrument, going up and down all the notes in a given musical key. So our B-flat blues scale sounds like this. Or if I play them even, or we call it straight, it would sound more like this. So I'm going to kind of go through a couple like simple terms that are described in the jazz history textbook, but also are just good to know as a musician or as somebody who is learning about music. So I'm going to start really basic, and I'm going to kind of get more complicated from there. So I'm going to start with note lengths. First, we have a quarter note. A quarter note, despite it sounding like the fraction 1/4, takes one beat. So if I'm, again, you use the same track for a bunch of these here. First, we define the beat here to tell how fast our quarter notes are going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your quarter note. It takes one beat. You can kind of feel the pulse. I hope you can hear this recording. If you can't, you can imagine. So I'm going to play 8 quarter notes. Okay? And now, quarter notes take one beat. So then we talk about eighth notes. We talk about eighth notes a lot in jazz. Eighth notes take half a beat, and usually we play them swung. So I'm going to play a series of eighth notes, all on the same pitch, on the same note, in 2 different styles. Straight eighths, which are even, it's what you hear in like classical music or like rock, often. Sometimes rock will swing a little bit. And swung eighth notes, which is a big deal with jazz. So here are straight eighth notes and then swung eighth notes. Here are my straight eighth notes first. Okay, now I'm going to swing some eighth notes. Okay, so swing, you've kind of got this long, short pattern. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. It kind of gives it a little lilt. It swings. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is the 12-bar blues. Sorry, I'm trying to count in the form here. Okay, so the 12-bar blues means that there are 12 measures in the pattern of chords before it all starts over. So this is the last 4. I'm going to just count it out with you. Okay, here comes measure 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. 11, 2, 3, 4. 12, 2, 3, and then it starts over. Okay? So that's our 12-bar blues progression. So I'm going to talk about some other terms that you have been hearing, like legato and staccato and accent. So legato is an Italian term. It just means smooth and connected. So I'm going to play just some legato notes, right? My notes kind of connect to each other. I'm going to contrast that and play some staccato notes. Okay, this is also an Italian term. It means short and separated. I think it actually means dry, which is another term for secco. So anyway, these are short and separated, staccato. So they're very different, right? And then I'm also going to demonstrate an accent. An accent in music just means it's louder than the notes around it. So I'm going to accent the 4th note in my series of notes. And I'll play a bunch. So I'll accent every 4th note. This is something that they talk about with Buddy Bolden doing, kind of the big 4. This is something that is very common in jazz. You accent 2 and 4, you emphasize 2 and 4, you lean on 2 and 4. That's where that's where we kind of get the swing. So now I'm going to accent 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just means every 2nd and 4th note, or every 2nd and 4th beat. Let's see. Blues scale. Yeah, so when they're talking about taking a solo, that usually means an improvised solo, which is what I kind of did at the beginning of the video. One more thing I want to address is something called a walking bass line, and what it is it's when a bass player plays all of the notes in the chord and kind of outlines the chord. I do this better on tuba, but it is what it is. So I'm going to play a walking bass line for one chorus, and then I'm going to solo for one chorus. And please, if you have any more questions about like terminology, please feel free and ask, and I hopefully can explain it a little bit better than just reading it in a book. So here we go. Here's a walking bass line for 12 bars of the B-flat blues, and then an improvised solo for 12 bars of the B-flat blues, both using our blues scale. Here's the walking bass line first. Alright, so hopefully those terms kind of made sense to you. I know it's kind of a long video, but I hope it's a helpful one. Please reach out if you have any other questions. and I will absolutely answer them. Thanks very much. Have a good day.